Hi everyone, Melanie Minshinger here, illustrator for Gina K Designs. Today I am sharing a sample with my newest set from Gina K Designs, Majestic Moments, and this was available on the site May 13th, Tuesday, 7 p.m. Central. So if you are watching this now and you want to go check out our live, if that's still going on, I will be sharing other samples with the set and telling about the inspiration behind it. So for today, I'm going to show this first demonstration how you can do a very simple blended and masked scene using these beautiful trees, this cliff, and then any one of these silhouette images that I have in this set. So I've got deer, bears, wolves, a family dog, some kids. I have some birds of prey, and then several people here that you can have standing atop that cliff. So here I use the stag, but I'm going to use the hiker today just to show you how you can change it up a little bit. In addition to the set, and this is all the dies in the bundle, it's great because you can cut out that cliff if you want to make a more dimensional scene, and you can also cut out all of those greetings and those silhouettes to pop them up and really make them stand out from your blended skies. So in addition to this, I'm also going to be using some Gina K cardstock. I've got the soft stone. This is 4¼ inches by 11, scored at 5½ inches to make a top fold A2 size card. I did the mats a little differently. Instead of offsetting this white one, I used the dies from the Master Layout 2. This is the stitch die and then the layering die to put on that mat. So I've got some layering weight white paper, and then some of the Black Onyx. I love these stitch dies, and I always think of them just being a little bit more feminine because that stitch border is so delicate. I just wanted to let y'all know I got the stamp of approval, pardon the pun, from my son when he was looking through all of my samples, and he saw this one and he said, "This looks like a patch. I really like that stitched edge." So now I know that he really likes that. I'm going to make sure that I use that on my masculine cards for him. So those are the two that I'm using today. The ink that we're going to be using, I have got some of this Plum Punch. I think I used just a little bit of pink, so we'll see if we use that or not. This is the Pink Passion, but you definitely want the black, jet black Amalgam ink for doing our stamping, and then also just a little bit of blending in that corner. It's going to give it just a really smoky, mysterious, beautiful glow to that mat when you're blending. I've got some different blending brushes here. I like to keep a separate one for each color, so a black, a pink, and a purple. The markers that I have set aside here, I'm just going to do just 2 different colors of gray. So these are my Spectrum Noir. I've got an IG3 and a BGR2, and so kind of a warmer gray and then a bluer gray that are going to look really nice with this soft stone base. So any 2 grays, but it's just going to really create a lot of depth on that cliff with very little coloring. Some of the masking magic for masking off your moon and your cliff, or you can use scratch paper. This is the Gina K masking magic, and I had the little I had the package for it. I can't find it right now, but this is what I used, and my mat fell on the floor somewhere, so I can't find it, but this is what the front of it looks like. This is what the back of it looks like. So thankfully for this demo, because I need to get this recorded today, I can go ahead and just place that on there as my mask, even though this is that part that was covering up the adhesive. All right, and then some scissors for cutting that out. So these are the Gina K ones. You'll also, if you have any circle dies, you can use this for the moon. If you don't have any circle dies, you could trace the bottom of a cup. There are many ways to create a mask for that. Again, this is on the Masking Magic, but I'm just going to put it right on there. And then some kind of adhesive, whether you want to use some foam squares or some Connect glue. I'm out of Connect glue, so I'm going to be using a glue stick today. I think that's everything that we need for this. So let's go ahead and just get started with our stamping. You're going to need either a platform or an acrylic block. This is a 2 3/4 inch block, and that will fit the largest image, which is this cliff. So let's go ahead and get started. Whenever you want to do some masking, you want to think about whatever is in the front, that image is going to be stamped first. So front first. So first we need to stamp the cliff. So I'm going to put my white cardstock that I have already pre-cut, and I used, just to let y'all know, I cut them to save time, but also to keep from moving everything around on my desk. The magnetic plates with the Intracut. This is my favorite die cutting and embossing machine I've ever used, the Gina K's. I never have to do 2 passes. It just cuts it out perfectly. So easy to use. So let's begin by getting this cliff stamped. And I'm so excited about this image, and I'm so excited to use it with other nature sets that I have. If you already watched our live video on Tuesday night, you're watching this later, I created several samples where I used my serene seascapes, and the water just looks beautiful behind this cliff. So you can put this lower if you want to have more of the sky showing, or if you want to nest it just right into the corner. So that's what I'm going to do on today's card. So we're going to go ahead and ink this up. So just tapping all over to really get all of those details in the cliff. I loved how somebody said that this also looks like lightning here. That could be really cool to just ink up part of the image and then put it in your sky scenes, maybe embossed with some white or some gold. I'm gonna have to try that, but I love that idea. So we'll lift that up. I'll do it just one more time, even though that's a good impression. Just get it nice and solid. Okay, now I'm going to stamp my silhouette of my person last, because I don't want that to get smudged at all with my blending. So I'm going to take this out for just a moment and set it aside. Put this here so that you can see where we're going. And then I'm going to put just some scratch paper underneath my piece of paper so that I can keep my work surface cleaner, because you want to go off of the edges with your blending. So I'm going to have my circle here. This was cut with one of the other master layouts dies. So I want to have that so that it's just going to be spotlighting that person there. And if you want to check and make sure, see where you have that person standing, just to kind of make sure your placement is going to work there on the rock, you can do that. Okay. All right. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to start with that plum punch, and I'm just going to gently just circle, 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 blend, blend, blend. And I'm just going to hold this here, and I'm going to go very softly all around this moon. And you can always add more. So you want to start softer, go off of the edge of your cardstock. Now you can look at this. I went all the way around the moon, and I also went over the moon. So you can keep going back and forth and just checking to see, okay, I like that the way it is. If you have it solid though, it's not going to have the same effect as if you leave some soft white areas. So, whoop, hang on. And I hope I'm not covering this up so that you can't see. I'm trying to kind of avoid that with my hands so you can still see. So we're gonna have some trees stamped down here. Okay, I want it to be a little bit darker up here. If you look at my sample, this is all going to get filled in mostly at the bottom there with that tree. And then I'm also going to remove my mask, and I'm going to put some going over the moon, just so it kind of looks like clouds, and then those shadows and craters on the moon also. Okay. All right, so let's take just a little bit of this. I'll make sure I don't have it too heavy. And I'm just going to kind of go in here and swirl this. Oh, swirl that around. Forgot that I didn't want that on my cliff. If you do get some on the cliff, this is mostly going to get covered up with my stamping, but have a sand eraser handy. And Gina carries these in the store. This is great for boo-boos or just removing a little bit of your ink. And on that sample that I showed you before, and I'll do another creation video for this, but you can actually do some precision removal in stripes to kind of create those rays. So again, that's how I use that sand eraser. So it's a very, very versatile, very inexpensive product. I think it's like $3 or $4. All right, so now I'm going to go back to doing my stamping. So I'm going to put this back in here and remove the clip. I'd love to hear in the comments which of these silhouettes you're most excited about using. And I tried to represent some that look older, some that look younger, one that has either a cane or a hiking stick. Kind of imagine like one of my sons here wearing a beanie with that one. All right, so this one was created to nest right in here in the bottom of my scene. And this, ooh, where does that tree? Let's see. Oh, that fell off of my sheet while I was stamping. It's around here somewhere. All right, well, I'm going to use the same tree twice because I don't, this one, so I'll just point it out to you. This one is meant to just go right in your card on the edge here at the top of that cliff. So I've got them oriented on the stamp page here so you can see right where they're meant to go, but you can change around where they're going to actually go. So first I'm going to do this one. And I can't find my grip mat either. I am just, I don't know if I'm coming or going. Got a lot of stuff going on right now. Okay, so we're going to stamp that. Let's do it one more time. Been doing a lot of stamping for this release, so I need to re-ink my pad. Go all over there. One more there in the center. Okay. All right, now I want to, and I'm gonna do, also put one just there in the front so you can kind of move this, tap this off a little bit, and put just a little bit of tree down here. Just the top of that tree here. And you don't always have to put that one there in the middle of the mat at the top of the cliff if you don't want. Maybe I'll just leave it off just so you can see something different. Okay, but if you wanted to, that's the same tree actually that was up here. Okay, so I did do it that way on the first sample. All right. All right, so I'm going to take this off. I have my hiker. Oh, where did I put him? Here it is. Okay. Okay, so we're going to put the hiker here at the top. And I think I want to also, maybe I'll have him looking at an eagle off in the distance. Okay, take one of these. Do the smaller one. And if you put it further back, you could put your sentiment here just to show you some different options. So put it right about there. All right. Oh, and I said, let me go back here real quick. I said that I wanted to do just a little bit of black here just to add the depth. So I don't want to smear that bird. So I'm just going to go in, grab my circle again real quick. Need a bigger desk. Okay. So I'm going to cover this up one more time and just add some black. And this is going to really kind of balance out the dark black of the trees there at the bottom of our card. Just really, let's see, how about that? Go in like that over the moon. Put a little bit down here and then through here. Whoop. Okay, let me take my sand eraser. I cut just the edge of that. Okay, that is going to get covered up by my hiker now. Really have too many things on my desk. Okay. All right. So we're going to go in, stamp the hiker and that bird that he's watching. Oh, okay. Carefully, I didn't have my magnet on there. And one more time. All right, and now I want to finally do that greeting. And so you could use the die cut anywhere, or I just think that this is a perfect opportunity for your smaller greetings to just put them on at the top of that cliff, right with your silhouette, whichever one you choose. So I have some, each of the animals can look like a parent and child or a mated pair. And I just got a little smudge there from my finger. All right. And the last thing that we're going to do is I'm going to do just some very simple coloring on the cliff, and you can see how easy that is. So let me add my greeting. And one more time. Love this font. It's great for masculine or nature cards. Okay. All right, now what I want to do, take this out, and I'm just going to do some very simple coloring here. So I'm going to take my gray markers that I have, and I'm going to do the lighter one first. So I'm just going to go in, any of the dark areas that you see on my image are going to be what you want to put your coloring. So obviously the moon is going to be shining down on whatever is on the top, but I'm just putting this just right in those cracks and then underside of the top plane of this cliff. So just going down over those cracks, and then I'm going to put just a little bit under my hiker. Okay, and that blended really well where he's standing because I did not heat set this ink. This is safe for coloring with your alcohol markers, but here in Texas, because it is very humid, I normally heat set it. So I'm going in with my darker one here. Might be hard to tell that it's darker, but just adding just a little bit more. You can also add that to the cracks at the top, or just some little dots just to give it a little bit of texture. And that's all I did. So I'm going to go ahead and attach this layer to my black mat. And I think I'm going to have to show you a peek of one of my scenes where I used the serene seascapes. If you missed our live or you're just excited to see it, let's go ahead and use some foam squares just to pop up this mat. But I am just thrilled about how the set is stamping. So excited about all these inspirational quotes and just being able to really create just those moments of awe and wonder when you are on a mountaintop. Okay, center that right there. So I'll show you my original card. Love it. I love this, love this, love this set. So here is my inspiration sheet here that has just the layouts. I've also got one that has color samples of all of these so that you can recreate these on your own. But here are some samples that will be coming up soon with my Serene Seascape set that coordinates. Let me see if I have that over here handy to show you. So these crashing waves and then the still waves and clouds look great with this cliff. So I really recommend, if you like this scene making and like either of these sets, that you purchase them and use them together. Thank you so much for watching today. I hope you enjoyed this video despite me having trouble misplacing things and whatever, it happens. That's stamping, but I love how it turned out and I would love to see what you create. So if you do, please tag me when you post it. Thanks so much for watching today. Love you guys. God bless.